Hello everyone, it's great to see you. Today I want to talk about beating the universe, because the universe is out here to get us. But fear not, we can prevail. But first, we need to understand the universe. Context is everything, and it turns out we are actually living in the same universe, you and I. All of you out there and all of us here at Sumo are living in the same universe. Because of this, from the very beginning, one of our core values has been to be in it with our customers. This is not aspirational, it is axiomatic. We actually are in it with you because we are exactly like you. The core of our business is a large cloud-native application. We are facing the exact same challenges that you are facing with your applications, and overcoming those challenges is just as much key to our success as it is for you. We believe that this creates perfect alignment, and this is our shared universe. To make it more concrete, I want to show you how we think about the mission and vision of Sumo Logic today. First, let's establish our vision. We are making a difference in the world by making the world's digital experiences reliable and secure. It is our mission then to be the leading SaaS analytics platform for reliable and secure cloud-native apps. Wow, okay, so those are some big words. And of course, these words are loaded with meaning. To understand what we are trying to say here and why it matters to you, let's do some whiteboarding. We start with digital transformation. We can easily assert that this is the defining business imperative and competitive force of the century. And digital transformation has been accelerating further since the start of the pandemic. So what is it though? Simply speaking, it is the adoption of digital technology, or in other words, conducting business over the internet. From a commerce perspective, this is an incredible change that has only truly started very recently, less than say 2 decades ago. And it is still in full swing. It might look to us, given what we are doing, that of course everything is computers and internet and Amazon Prime, but there are still so many business areas that are only at the start of this transformation, or haven't even started yet. And let's not forget, the future of work has increasingly been transformed by digital technology as well. Right now, I am not physically standing in front of you like I would have last decade. Instead, obviously, I am coming to you through a series of tubes. Let's look at a less casual view of what digital transformation is. There are a few definitions out there. I like this one from the Enterprises Project. Digital transformation is the integration of digital technology into all areas of a business, fundamentally changing how you operate and deliver value to customers. Key here is the part about fundamental change, because that is always a tall order, of course. The second quote here gets to the heart of this. It is also a cultural change that requires organizations to continually challenge the status quo, to experiment, and to get comfortable with failure. It is about technology, but primarily, let's not forget that it first and foremost is a mindset. The mindset is to adapt and evolve. It is about the audacity to change, the audacity to understand that what works successfully today might not work anymore tomorrow. And in fact, it might already not even work anymore today if you look closely. But it is not only about the recognition, it is even more so about acting accordingly. It is more about shedding outdated processes and legacy mindsets than it is about adopting new tech. Actually, we will get back to this point later in this session. And none of this, of course, is new. Remember 2011? Yeah, right. That's when the original report that introduced the term digital transformation was published. This is the report that has been providing the background for the universe we live in today. All right, back to the whiteboard. If digital transformation is the biggest business trend in our century, then clearly it is also the main driver of the success of your business. To have a successful business, you need customers. If the business is digital, then how do your customers experience it? Exactly, digitally. At the core of success in the digital age is the digital experience. So what are those digital experiences? Here are just a few examples to get the point across. There is online banking. I'm sure you all make use of it. Food delivery has become more and more central to our way of life in the last few years in particular, of course. Then we have shopping, or in other words, our collective downfall, right? Looking at travel, just think about how much it has been transformed already. And all the kids today are digital natives. Education has changed dramatically. It has become fundamentally digital. And this is just a sampling. There are so many business opportunities in our vast universe. There is so much still left to be transformed. Glory days indeed, it is all pretty obvious actually. But it is also obvious to your competitors. Now, there are many things that drive competition: market, differentiation, economics. But across the board, let's assume that you have established basic success across those dimensions. So then what is left? Exactly. What's left is customer experience. And when your business is digital, guess what? Customers experience your business digitally. Digital experience is what matters. You need to have a digital experience just in order to stick around. That's the baseline. But of course, you really need to turn your digital experience into a competitive weapon. You know, I entered at Amazon back in the late 90s, and even back then, what I absorbed there was total and ultimate focus on what we today call digital experience. Bad experiences make customers unhappy. Unhappy customers will not come back. There is just too much choice, and unhappy customers will not bring you other customers virally either. So you really need to get this right. As I said, it is not good enough to just get it right. You need to do it better than others. If you don't, the results will be, shall we say, disappointing, right? And here we are back at the whiteboard. So how is the digital experience being delivered? Obviously, through applications. All your applications are in some way customer-facing. The customer might be internal or external. The customer might be a consumer in the classic sense, or the customer is another business, or the customer is actually an employee. Everybody is a consumer and a customer in this new world. The context might be different, but the basic physics, so to say, are the same. The applications that are driving your business are characterized very easily. These applications are mission critical and they are revenue generating. They are directly connected to your digital experience and therefore to the success of your business. In order for the applications to deliver a great digital experience, they need to be many things to many people. But most fundamentally, they need to be reliable and they need to be secure. Let's zoom into that one more level. What is reliability? Well, when your business is open worldwide 24/7, you need worldwide 24/7 reliability. It needs to work always, not only sometimes. Not just during business hours and not just on the East Coast. And this is actually not that simple. We could talk for 3 days just about all the things that go into checking out a shopping cart and actually taking money, right? Customers are fickle and they are impatient. So if your thing is not reliable, they will just move on to the next one. And if that one works, they will not come back. The other non-negotiable requirement for digital experience is security. If you leak my credit card, I will be very mad. And this is not a joke. It starts there and then it's passwords and more PII, which is personally identifiable information. You can thoroughly fuck your customers this way. It can lead to identity theft, debt, reputational damage, poverty, homelessness. As digital businesses, we first and foremost have a goddamn moral obligation to prevent all of this. And of course, this is also just self-preservation because you want to stay in business. This is actually something that we ourselves have taken extremely seriously here at Sumo from day one as well. Okay, and here we have one more thing that plays into all of this. It is the ultimate enabler. That's right, cloud. Cloud adoption has been completely upending IT in the last decade. Digital transformation is by and large implemented through cloud adoption. This has changed everything in IT. Cloud delivers great efficiency, but it is new and it can be pretty scary. It deeply affects the reliability and the security of our apps. The apps, of course, are all cloud native now, because how else would you deliver an always-on global business? Digital experience then is at the mercy of cloud-native applications. We are all getting better at this, but I believe that we still need all the help we can get. And now we can finally look at the full picture, and it should be very obvious how our platform supports what we just discussed. Our platform supports reliability management through log management and observability. And the same platform supports security management through SIEM, powered by the same log management capabilities and the very same SaaS delivery model. I said just now that we all need all the help we can get. We want to help you manage the reliability and the security of your applications so you can drive a successful business. Security is a vast and hugely important topic, and we are covering it in depth in other talks at this conference. I want to get back to the premise of our session and drill down more into reliability now. After all, we are going to beat the universe, right? This, of course, is not easy, because entropy, my friends, always increases. This is the second law of thermodynamics, and contrary to former American presidents, we are not above the law. Here is another fascinating aspect of the second law. There is a natural tendency of any isolated system to degenerate into a more disordered state. Chaos truly is the way of the universe. So what does that mean for us? Well, we are all in charge of one or many systems. These systems are important commercially and maybe for some of you even life-preserving. As you all, of course, know, we clearly have a work cut out for us. When we build and operate these systems, we have learned, consciously or maybe subconsciously, to anticipate the chaos. How do we anticipate the chaos? That's right, we monitor. But monitoring, as we understand it in our profession, is meant to react to situations we somehow already know about and which we somehow think of as bad. Or, more likely, we monitor for situations we have learned to consider bad through lost sleep and much perspiration. And so if we know about it already, there's nothing inherently wrong with monitoring for carefully selected thresholds. And I do believe that it makes sense to look for obvious goofs in our infrastructure. But I don't think simply alerting on all available resource consumption metrics in your infra is going to achieve anything other than burning your team to a crisp. And trust me, this is yet another one of those many things we have ourselves learned the hard way at Sumo. We went through many iterations of the on-call zombie apocalypse. Yes, we all like coffee, but come on. So if monitoring is not the end-all solution, what are we supposed to do? Clearly, given our history here at Sumo and how much value we have been creating from log management and analytics, you will not be surprised to learn that we find the more recent term observability and the framing it provides useful and practical. So you might think, but isn't observability just another way of saying monitoring? Everything that's old is new again and so forth, right? But actually, observability is very much not just a 21st century way of saying monitoring. In fact, it is actually quite the opposite. So what is observability? In my view, observability is the result of the realization that the chaos we need to manage cannot be anticipated by purely relying on what we know. Chaos, in all the beautiful kaleidoscopic transcendence of a major universal force, is exactly about screwing you up where you least expect it. Observability, then, is the mindset of anticipating the unknown. Observability is about being able to capture enough signals so that you can explain what is going on when the universe is trying to pull one on you. We achieve this by instrumenting our systems and making telemetry about their behavior available. We can argue all day about the best type of telemetry and the best format for the telemetry. Structured events are perfect when we can get them, but sometimes we have more messy telemetry. At least with Sumo, we can pull out structure on the fly. But fundamentally, we need a basis for troubleshooting. Our applications and systems are way too complex today for us to just attach a debugger. So the next best thing is to centralize telemetry into a place where we can explore what the systems are likely to be doing. And yet, I have concluded that the way we look at the purpose of our activities and the purpose of the tools we build and use to support those activities is limited. Application performance management and observability is the latest aggregation of terms we have to deal with. I am glad that our industry is trying to keep up with what is going on the ground, but on the highest level, I still don't think that we are seeing the forest from the trees. APMNO as a framing falls dramatically short of what truly matters. In Sumo, we have had a way to talk about such phenomena for a long time. Internally, we call them horse-cart violations. So in many ways, I believe that the industry is prone to following a false prophet, because all of this is nothing more than a means to an end. Sure, it is exciting, and yes, it is absolutely critical, but it is just a means. It is most definitely not the end. Okay then, but what is the end? Well, the way I see it, the end is reliability. This is what actually truly matters to the users of our systems, right? So generally speaking, we always want to start at the end and work our way backward. This means that we want to look for and focus on the outcome. This is especially important when we design products, no matter what products, even products that help in achieving reliability. And it can get dangerously metacircular for me at this point, so let's just move on. Putting the whole picture together, it might look something like this. We could probably do, again, an entire session just on this one slide. Internally, we have actually done many such sessions, but I'll spare you today. This picture is also always evolving. I just want to flash it here to quickly illustrate that everything is ultimately connected. The main thing I want to leave you with today is this. The mindset has to be about the outcome that matters. And the outcome that matters is to have a reliable digital experience for the apps that drive the business. Statement. When we apply an outcome-focused lens, the outcome we are striving for is reliability. Outcomes do not just materialize. We need to manage them. This is why we are talking about reliability management. What we want to achieve is reliability, and so we need to manage towards it. Sounds good, but how can we get there? What is the most significant mindset shift we need to allow ourselves to make? Well, we start by excusing ourselves from the perceived need to look at the world in absolutes. In reality, we don't need to be absolutely reliable. Of course, we have all learned this from the Google writings. 100% is the wrong reliability target for basically everything, end quote. It turns out that these empirical observations are well anchored in a long intellectual history. As the egg-shaped Frenchman here already said about half a millennium ago, perfect is still an enemy of good. Why not perfect? Because speed kills. Competition is everywhere, looking to overtake you. The digital business needs to be agile, and so do its applications. You need to be able to keep up, and this ultimately boils down to your ability to ship code as fast, if not faster, than your competitors. But when you aim for 100%, the logical consequence is that you are slowing down your processes to a crawl. Any change will be viewed as a risk to perfect availability and performance. Arbitrary hurdles will be erected between you and your code going to production. More testing on staging systems, more documentation. Yes, a reasonable level of diligence is part of any process. Cowboys don't get very old. But let's just be honest with ourselves. There is only so much that, change documentation and staging can reveal about the true nature of how your production systems operate. Again, everything in moderation. But don't slow down shipping code, and don't slow down reverting code. The universe isn't waiting for nobody. So how can we be the very best of good without falling into the trap of trying to be perfect? If only, we could stand on the shoulders of giants. If only we could learn from those that have come before us. If only we could follow those space cadets that have traveled the universe before us, the ones that created the interstellar pathways. Rejoice. Those giants at Google have actually given us what I believe is a very useful and practical methodology. You could almost say a methodology, indeed. That's right. We believe the SLO approach encapsulates the radical realism required to sustain ourselves in a chaotic universe. The SLO approach encodes the cosmic understanding that perfect is not pragmatic. 100 minus a very small fraction is actually greater than 100. Take that, Pythagoras. The SLO approach also refocuses us on figuring out what we actually care about in the first place. And no surprise here, I strongly believe that what we care about is customer experience. This is why, as part of this methodology, we start by looking at the things that are truly impacting our customers. We do not focus on every layer of the infrastructure, on every CPU, on every process. We don't focus on all the things. We don't approach reliability from the bottom up. We approach it top down. Less is more. And if we notice an SLO to be in danger, we can rely on all the data and the creature features observability tooling provides for us to troubleshoot and understand which part of the application and system needs some TLC. The beauty of managing our applications against the 9s versus the perfect 100% lies in the fact that we can create honest-to-God budgets. There are, of course, different approaches here, but for starters, let's just say we go with a 30-day sliding window. Then we can turn that little fraction we have subtracted from the 100% and account for it over time as budget. In the example, this means we have a budget for the last 30 days, during which we can accept some small amount of failure. This is the crucial and fundamentally humane aspect of this methodology, because it means we do not have to wake people up in the middle of the night at the slightest observation of a failure. Compare this to the resource threshold-based alert storm madness we know so well. I believe this is significant progress. If you want to know more, please look out for our fantastic guide to reliability management. Of course, there are layers of details underneath the high-level story I have been talking about, and this is a great resource. No worries though, I strongly believe that this methodology is intuitive and not really that hard to grasp. You can tell that I'm super excited about this. In fact, all of us at Sumo are very excited about it. One way we are channeling our excitement is by contributing to the OpenSLO project. The OpenSLO project provides a way to manage SLOs and everything related as code. I love this approach, and I love that the industry is coming together to define a vendor-independent way to express reliability management concerns. We are fully supporting OpenSLO. And finally, we have been very hard at work introducing the SLO methodology into our product. Some of you have helped us with this along the way, participating in previews and betas. We thank you very much for the time and the great input. We really think this is a game changer. I just want to highlight a few screens here. Please see other sessions for deep dives on this functionality. So first, you can now define SLOs. You can create monitors from the SLOs, and they will alert you on error budget consumptions and send you a lovely email. Well, the intent of the email is very nice actually, but you might have to do some work as a result. And of course, there are overview dashboards for your SLOs, allowing you to understand their current state in detail. This includes the error budget consumption history over the current period, as well as an event history. Look, everything is moving so fast, and we are all just hanging on for dear life. It has been eye-opening for us to frame the outcome as reliability. An outcome is something to manage towards, or it will simply not happen. This gives us the imperative for reliability management. Even better, with the SLO methodology, there is literally a recipe for how to do this. And now we have implemented this methodology into the product for you. We have worked very hard on making it intuitive and practical. Please do have a look. And I think this brings home the point of our purpose. Our purpose is to empower the people who power modern digital businesses. And you know who those people are. It's all of you out there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a customer. And thank you for your interest in what we are trying to do. I am @RayChaser, and I appreciate you. See you soon, somewhere in the universe.